Welcome, I'm Chaiti Narula and you're watching Lifestyle Edit Catwalk Chronicles. The FDCI x Lakme Fashion Week wound up in Mumbai and it was a festival of fashion in the country. We're starting this broadcast, that is me, Vaishnavi and Sonakshi Khanna. We're starting this particular broadcast with getting you all the top highlights from the Fashion Week in Mumbai. You saw the Sustainable Fashion Day, then you saw some brilliant showcases by Vaishali Shadangule to Khadi India to Tarun Tahiliani. You had Cheche Valaya, Manish Malhotra, and the list is really endless. But what were the highlights from all these plethora of showcases? Let's begin. The FDCI x Lakme Fashion Week in Mumbai wound up with the stands packed to the rafters. Zeenat Aman turned showstopper for Shaheen Manan.
Full circle moment for me because I started my career as a young model, and to be walking the ramp as a septuagenarian, it's wonderful.
Malaika Arora for Bhumika Sharma. Taapsee Pannu for Monisha Jaisingh. And Sushmita Sen for Anushri Reddy. Sara Ali Khan turned showstopper for Puneet Balana. Actors Kalki, Shilpa Shetty, Shani Gupta, Diana Penty, Shobhita Dhulipala turned showstoppers as well. Sustainable Fashion Day included shows by Vaishali Shadangule, who brought the ocean to life with her designs, and Gaurav Jay Gupta, who showcased his latest collection. Khadi India presented 4 labels: Suket Dheer, Shruti Sancheti, Divyam Mehta, and Centre for Excellence for Khadi, or COEK, who showcase reiterated the commitment to sustainability in fashion with charkhas and sets that showcase the pride of Indian textiles and weaves. Reds and drapes set the luxury pret trends with Tarun Tahiliani's showcase, with Shobhita Dhulipala turning muse for Tahiliani.
Well, you know, I'm a little older and I've seen another India, and I don't have to rely on Bollywood. I saw photographs, I saw women in Bombay. We traveled in Rajasthan where everybody wore Indian things. And the one thing I think, we have to stop thinking of India in terms of just color and embroidery, because there's a drape form that everybody wore. And so I've been working hard for years. It took a long time because it was a new technique to structurally drape it. But the thing is, we get so close to it that we can't see it. And I didn't like the men's collection till Lo came along, who's an old friend, and I yanked him back from South Africa, where he was hibernating after COVID, to reinterpret, to look at it afresh, to just put the pearls, to put a draped dhoti, make it sexy, Indian, modern. It's all about now.
I used to go to parties here where men were wearing more diamonds than women. So and it just felt like the timing was also with what's happening in the world, with that there's no more use as far as gender goes. It just felt like we could celebrate it right now.
Cheche Valaya showcase got inspired by the travelogues of Maharaja Jagjit Singh of Kapurthala, with Rashmika Mandana turning muse for the designer. The FDCI x Lakme Fashion Week wound up with a grand finale showcase by designer Manish Malhotra, with Siddharth Roy Kapoor and Ananya Pandey as the showstoppers. There were some trendsetters this year, and the trendsetters definitely came from off-headline showcases as well, but the headline showcases are one that you just cannot miss. Whether it was Vaishali Shidangule exploring the life below the ocean, making sure that all of that comes into life in her pieces, or Tarun Tahiliani bringing that sophistication back to the traditional Indian sari and the contemporary manner in which he was draping his muses, with the red really standing out, defining the color of the season. Or whether it was Manish Malhotra, JJ Valaya, even for that matter, you had many other designers who really brought in a lot of trend-setting moments. So let's bring you those for now. The headline showcases this season at the FDCI x Lakme Fashion Week in Mumbai included Vaishali Shidangule and the Khadi India Showcase on day 1, followed by Tarun Tahiliani on day 2, JJ Valaya on day 3, and Manish Malhotra with a grand finale on day 4. An ode to the timeless Indian drape, Tarun Tahiliani presented sophisticated drapes with a contemporary lens, making the luxury breath outfits very easy to wear. Inspired by the flowing essence of water, the flowy drapes took form of silhouettes playing with the hemline of desire. Shobhita Dhulipala's show-stopping red ensemble, in stark contrast to the monochromatic collection, was the highlight of this showcase, with Tarun Tahiliani stamping the color for the season.
I keep saying this. So a color like red is fantastic. And on Indian skin, any. But if it's red with gold and Swarovski and all, it's too much. So, some things that are very vibrant in our urban milieu need to be worn in some kind of like restraint.
Sustainable Fashion Day saw Vaishali Shidangule's headline showcase titled Beneath. A continuation of Vaishali's signature style, the collection showcased outfits that qualified as wearable art.
I always see India, how stylish, how modern, how fashionable India is. We just pick up one thing and it's so fashionable. Indian history says everything from top to bottom. So I just thought, we used to take these dabbas before. You know?
We were using these dabbas. These dabbas used to... And every home used to have this dabba in India.
And it's so comfortable, it's so useful. So why not?
I'll show you, all my stuff is in this, including my chargers to everything. And it looks perfectly good with the outfit that I'm wearing. Vaishali's forte has heavily been in her coding techniques and sustainability. This is very unique about your clothes, like the flow. You see the rhythm and the flow. How do you create these?
So the cording technique, it is amazing. We don't waste fabric at all when we make these cords. So I felt, wow, this is amazing. It is so beautiful to give shapes, the fabric. So that's how you see these textures, and this is sustainable. And very important, one tribe, they have this outfit with cording. Why they make this? Because they can pass over to the generation.
JJ Valaya's showcase saw his signature designs and prints in his collection titled JJV Kapurthala. Manish Malhotra showcased Diffuse 2.0 Breath collection that had Ananya Pandey and Aditya Roy Kapoor as the showstoppers. In Mumbai, Chaiti Narula for India Today. If you're a bride or even just attending a wedding function, who wants to be in those high heels and start dancing on those Indian tunes and have sore feet and damaged knees? All of those days are gone. These days, the latest trends is wearing something like this, which is sneakers, over something like a sari. And this sari also from Cubic is pre-draped. Those sneakers from Anar, these are the ones. They're doing it in different colors. They look great. You can dance as much as you want wearing these. So sneakers over lehengas. or saris. They're more comfortable, and now the bride today, the contemporary one, is gearing towards comfort. So right from her lehenga that does not weigh 80 kilos to doing pre-drapes where she doesn't have to keep adjusting the palla or take 100 years to wear them, or for that matter wearing cool sneakers so that she can dance at her own wedding, things are changing. Let's keep you up with those trends too. Bridal sneakers are here, and oh my god, I'm so relieved. Not because I'm turning a bride or anything, but even if I'm attending a wedding, I don't have to suffer those high heels or those jutis that really make your feet very sore, or even the knees that end up getting damaged. In fact, the doctors warn you against dancing in high heels. They're really bad for your posture, they're really bad for your back as well. So what do? We wear sneakers to a wedding. It's a new concept, but the bridal sneakers are really here. If you're wondering why would anybody wear bridal sneakers with a sari or a lehenga for that matter, don't worry, they look very cool, they're very edgy, and here is it. I could really dance the night away. I could run away from the mandap if I wanted to, if I was a bride. Not that I plan to, but look at that. You can really wear these out with your different outfits. They have oomph, they have elegance, they are a real work of art, because just like the way your lehengas have your embroidery and the fabrics, you can really match it. You can even get it done for the color that you're wearing in terms of the lehenga or the sari. In fact, if you're a little bit of an edgy bride, I would really go with this if you're doing an evening function. And why not? They're so comfortable. If you're somebody who's going into deeper tones, you can pick deeper tones like that with a lot of karigari done around it. These are from a brand called Antar. There are many other brands that are doing these sneakers as well. So whatever floats your boat, try sneakers with a lehenga.
For any girl getting married, a comfort quotient is just as important as a glam quotient nowadays. So the sole purpose of us at Antar is to deliver the same. Wedding is one of the largest consumption occasions in our country. We felt that while there were many brands and designers helping people adorn the bridal quotient quite beautifully and stylishly, there was no one really dedicated to styling their footwear needs, and especially sneakers.
Listen in now to what the couturiers have to say about these kind of sneakers with the sari.
I think it's a great trend. We just need to dress up the sneaker, and I think a lot of young girls feel truly liberated when they wear it. And that's current, it's of the time. So
it
why
kind
not?
of like made sense as well to wear it like that, because the sari is quintessentially very comfortable.
Yeah.
And you know,
I'm a little ambivalent of the sneaker with the sari. I think you can do it like a mule sneaker, like a shoe boot. So it's a little more elegant, but I think under the lehenga anyway it doesn't show. So you may as well be super comfortable.
I think that a wedding is now a more personal expression than ever, right? Yes, there are some ceremonial occasions where where she does look to make sure that the family is comfortable with what she's doing. But there are 5 events she's wanting to make a personal expression.
In fact, I recently wore something similar from Nitin Bal Chauhan, teamed with one of his dresses, and they look like a great option for a party. I think Sonam's sister Riya looked fab wearing sneakers with this ivory lehenga for her own wedding. And Sonam too, with this blue lehenga. But if I was either of them, I would probably skip the regular sneakers and do these festive wedding ones instead. We found these at Aza, but they not be that comfortable. Probably they are. You can wear and decide. These from Monisha Jaisingh's collection look comfortable and apt. These patch ones from Almari the Urban Closet can also pass off as festive, but over a dress and not your Sangeeta Fairas. In fact, I spotted these particular sneakers, not exactly these, but very similar ones from the same brand at the recent FDCI Lakme Fashion Week in Shruti and Chaiti's show, which is the Khadi India show. And I must say that the models look pretty cool wearing them as well. So you want to know my verdict as far as sneakers over lehengas or saris are concerned? One big yes. Go for it. Edgy, cool, classy, elegant, and amazing and comfortable at the same time. Why would I say no? What really caught my attention this time around at the FDCI Lakme Fashion Week in Mumbai was a showcase by designer Ujjwal Dubey, who has a label called Antar Agni. He presented Disquiet, which literally had models pacing back and forth the runway in this massive haste with the ambient sound just marrying it very intelligently. At the same time, there used to be a music that was in the background that used to stop, and the models used to stop and start walking again. Now, you would wonder why he's doing all of this. This was his creative brand speak. He was trying to show people about the disquiet of the urban metropolitan lives, the lives that you and I live, where we do not remember to stop to smell the roses as well. So let's bring you a rather very intelligently crafted showcase by Ujjwal Dubey.
As I explained, the disquiet talks about a lot of unease of life. To add to that, the tedium of life, and yet us surviving and still fighting and still living and still doing the base routine that we do, and yet not leave the energy. We put the energy in the moments that we find easy or we find comfort with. I think this one is a portrayal of the fight against all these odds.
Classic contemporary minimalist maximalism. Dramatic pauses. Life in haste and existentialism all came together at the Antar Agni showcase by designer Ujjwal Dubey. The showcase disquiet metaphorically blended into what life is for most of us in urban metropolitan cities.
This is one of the portrayals from the current moods too. The past some time has been similar for, I think, most of us, and me particularly as well. Also, it led me to read a couple of literary artists, and I happened to go through one of the very famous literary artists called Fernando Pessoa, and through which we derived this term called disquiet, because one of his books was also talking about this. And it talked about the tedium, and I felt so related to it. It was such a connection. They were like, this is it.
His creative and brand speak, the way he makes his collection, all came together in this intelligently crafted showcase at the FDCI x Lakme Fashion Week.
Minimally maximalist is our sole idea. Maximalism through silhouettes you've always seen. The comfort, and this time the comfort and geometry are two key factors here in what you've seen today.
The label presented disquiet look that projected gentle, quiet movement of style and elegance. The fabrics that were brought to the forefront included cotton silks, cotton, bemberg, and hand-woven cotton that added to the required flow and feel to the garments. Gender-fluid silhouettes with micro-detailing and asymmetry added seasonless appeal to the collection. True to his style, personality, and vibe, Ujjwal created a benchmark for futuristic designs coming out of India.
Let me get you what else caught my attention. Sartorial allegory, which means that there was a lot of success when it came to silhouettes and fashion by itself, but there was also poetry involved. There was the theatre of the absurd. You almost felt when you were sitting on the front row that there was a ghost that was walking onto you. But what was all of that? It was very intelligently done by a designer called Nitin Bal Chauhan, and what he showcased was really something that you can think about and ponder about as well. Take a look.
Existentialism, absurdism, exploring the meaning and purpose of our lives. Nitin Bal Chauhan's work can be termed as sartorial allegory.
What was going on in your mind? Because I think it spoke a little about redundancy. It spoke a little about how we need to do things that we're very passionate about. What was all that?
Absolutely, you're so right about that. And Charles Bukowski's poem, like, So You Want to Be a Writer, it really pushed me and like really defines our DNA in terms of pushing the boundaries and challenging yourself and taking risks and being fearless. And sometimes you create things for a different time. And that's what we really wanted to push forward, get the feelings out So this collection was all about, let's try to do things differently, and we would love to fail, and I hope we failed in some things, because those are our big wins here. We'll go back, look at the pictures that, yes, we failed here, and that's where something new can branch out.
His showcase at FDCI x Lakme Fashion Week came with a perspective on life. Nitin Bal Chauhan presented a collection inspired by French novel L'étranger, that translates to The Stranger by Albert Camus.
What show that was? I mean, I just love the innovation. Can you tell us a little bit about the idea behind the show and your...
Yeah, I mean, this collection was inspired by Albert Camus' novel, The Outsider, where probably I'm looking at things in a different way, and I think we should try to look at things in a different way, and that's why the whole choreography, that's how each garment was treated in a different way, and also things that look like maybe prints from a distance. When you go closely, you see there are three-dimensional embroideries rising up from 1 millimeter to 25 millimeters like architecture.
Three-dimensional embroidery, sustainable fabrics, the theatre of absurd vibe. Surreal human figures jutting out of models' outfits, and truly philosophical. The collection made you ponder and think. It made you think whether you're driven by passion or just going about your life with the lack of it. In conclusion, you left the runway pondering.
Well, Mumbai was a lot of fun, and why not? The fashion weeks are always a lot of fun. This year, you saw what set the trend going forward as far as fashion is concerned, thanks to the FDCI x Lakme Fashion Week that wound up in Mumbai. This is me, Chaiti Narula, signing off with my producers, Vaishnavika Harbar and Sonakshi Khanna. Thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks for your time.